Mm-hmm. Okay, bad. So look, y'all, this right here is a video that's all about why you do not need protein, okay? And why we should also stop worrying about protein and why plant protein is superior, as well as why animal protein is literally the worst thing for you to be putting into your body, okay? Right now, you feel me? We have a lot of people who are super carnivore, you feel me, or promoting, oh, you need meat, this and that, oh, the fiber, bro, oh, the iron, yada yada yada, etc. So we have people in that direction. I'm just gonna sit here and tell y'all, we do not need that. Okay. So let me just get right. Okay. Let me do a few things and we about to get this little party started. Okay. So I gotta have my tunes, you feel me? Because I'm on a different frequency right now. So I gotta get me right. I gotta get me right. So here we about to play this. We about to play this one for sure.
If you're a fitness coach, what if you could pay your bills with a little extra left over with 20 hours of work per week?
Okay. Yeah, real peaceful. Okay. All right, let me turn on the light. Ooh-wee. All right, cool. So I'm about to share my screen with y'all, okay? But first off, I want to let y'all know this. You are not a carnivore. These teeth right here, you do not have those canines, okay? As well as you are not even a fruit. I mean, you are not even an herbivore, okay? The molars, bro, the digestive system, you do not have the same digestive system, and you also don't produce the same digestive enzymes necessary to break down the same food as an herbivore. Okay, you're actually biologically designed to be a frugivore. All right, but this video right here is all about the protein. Okay, so look, we about to dive deep. We're about to dive deep. Let me just share my screen. Okay, let me just share my screen. Boom, right here. Ooh, man. Somebody about to be hurt. All right. So first off, I want to let y'all know what the digestive process is of a protein. Okay. So let me just stop this. Right. Oh shit. What the fuck just happened? Okay. So the digestive process of a protein is this. Okay. When you eat protein, when you eat amino acids, right? The reason why I say you don't need protein is because of this. Protein is not something outside of you. Protein is something that takes place within the body, okay? But they got us fixated on this whole, oh, yo, I need protein. No, you don't need protein. You need amino acids because that protein wouldn't be protein without amino acids. They tell us we need protein, and protein is the building blocks of life, but they don't tell you that the building blocks of protein is actually amino acids, okay? We produce, I believe it's 9 or 10 of the 20 or 21 amino acids naturally within our body, right? We don't need to outsource those, but the rest we do have to outsource. That is true. We definitely do have to outsource those. And there's a such thing called BCAs, right? Branched chain amino acids that are really, really great for building muscle. Okay. For all my fitness athletes, you feel me? Whatever it is that you into, this is going to end it all for you. Okay. As far as like, your needs of protein, the protein powders and yada, yada, yada. Okay. So you don't need a protein, you need amino acids. So you outsource that. So you go and get amino acids, they come into the body and they link up with other amino acids and they form something called a polypeptide chain. Okay? They form a polypeptide chain. This right here is a polypeptide chain, okay? This right here is a polypeptide chain. What they say, amino acids and proteins or polypeptides are joined together by peptide bonds. This sequence of R groups along the chain is called the primary structure. Secondary structure refers to the local folding of the polypeptide chain. Okay, cool. It doesn't say right here that it pretty much is the protein, but this is a protein. Okay, the polypeptide chain is essentially your protein molecule. All right, boom, and that comes into the body, and that goes through a digestive process where it goes from the salivary glands, mixing in with the salivary glands, starting its breakdown process, and then it goes to the gut, and then from the gut it touches with it gets in contact with the hydrochloric acid. which sits at a pH of 3.5 for all my people who are alkaline out there. You don't need to be alkaline. Well, alkalinity is great with intention, but ultimately you should be searching to be in a state of homeostasis, a balanced state. But this don't go to say you need to be eating balance. All right, cool. I'm gonna eat balance. So let me just go and eat me some chicken and some hot wings and yada yada because I'm balanced. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's okay to have hybrid foods every once in a while because you do need a level of acidity, and that is definitely true. But coming back right to this protein thing, the protein comes to the body, gets to the stomach, and then it mixes with the hydrochloric acid. And then from the hydrochloric acid goes into the small intestine, and then from the small intestine, and then goes into the bloodstream. Okay. Now, this is Stanford. Stanford scientists reliably predict people's age by measuring proteins in blood. The reason why I look like how I look, you feel me? I know I ain't shaved, you feel me? I'm a little crusty right now, but they can tell how much you have aged just by the amount of proteins within your blood. So if you want to look old as hell, like 80 when you fucking like 40 or something like that, and you know you think protein is superior and yada yada, go ahead. This is Stanford. Who gonna say Stanford is wrong? Who will say Stanford is wrong? We looked at Stanford for so many things. So carrying on, right? This right here says the substitution of animal proteins from, this is a case study, y'all. Okay, this is from the NIH, the National Institute of Health. Okay, it says the substitution of animal protein from a variety of food sources, particularly processed red meat, with plant protein was associated with a lower risk of mortality, indicating that the protein source is important for long-term health. I should not have to say that one again. Among animal proteins, right, the consumption of red meat and processed meat is associated with the risk of developing chronic diseases. I've said this before plenty of times, and you probably see me on Instagram talking about how meat causes chronic kidney disease and cardiovascular disease and diabetes and yada yada, right? This is a case study saying it, okay? Right, that comes, and it says developing chronic kidney disease, including CVD, chronic kidney disease, cancer, and diabetes. Okay. This is a case study, y'all. This ain't something I'm just pulling out my ass. Okay. However, BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, right, also have beneficial effects on health and are associated with mitochondria function. Okay. The mitochondria pretty much generates ATP, okay? And this ATP is like energy, you know, for certain metabolic processes within the body, okay? Just so that way you guys know, right? BCA supplementation increases the average lifespan of mice by increasing mitochondrial biogenesis and reducing oxidative stress in cardiac and skeletal muscles, okay? So you just heard it right there. BCA supplementation increases the lifespan, okay? So BCAs are good, okay? But I will say this, again, too much. We've all heard the term, right? Too much of anything is bad for you. That's so true, okay? And I'm about to show you that as well right now. BCAs is definitely something that you need, but you know, you don't need a whole lot of it. People get into this health and wellness space and think you need fucking protein every single goddamn day, the protein powders. You don't need that. That's too much protein. As well as on top of that, you eating the meats. You don't need that. You're putting your kidneys through a lot of stress, okay? You're building up a lot of plaque in your arteries when you consume that meat, okay? Not only that, but bro, you're also getting the heme iron, which is known to be a carcinogen. It causes cancer. Okay. And not only that, but it's coagulated protein, which is it's cooked. Coagulated, bro. And also just anything that is cooked is different. Okay. It's no longer the same as what you thought it was. All right. And what you looked it up to be. Like, for example, if you take, you know, some kale and you say, okay, the kale is this, that, and the third, right? And like, it got this protein, it's got the amino acids, got the yada, 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 right? But if you put a fire to that, you are now changing the molecular structure of that. It is no longer the same. as well as it does not possess the same nutritional value that it says on Google or whatever it is that you're looking up. Okay. So boom, BCA supplementation increases lifespan, right? Several clinical studies have also shown that BCAAs supplements reduce sarcopenia in elderly people and exert beneficial effects on body fat and glucose metabolism, possibly by increasing mitochondria biogenesis and muscle function. Okay, so it is good. Okay. So this right here is a case study proving that some protein powders, right, out there on the market are actually mixed with, I think it's like pig skin or pig foot or something like that with duck feathers. This is what y'all eat when you eat protein powders when they come from China. Okay. China, they're gonna try to cut, they're gonna cut corners as much as possible so that way they can be able to get their products out here, you feel me, and make this money and yada yada yada. Like China don't give a fuck about us. We should know that by now. If you don't know that by now, then I don't know what to fucking tell you. China don't give a fuck about us. They want us dead now. Okay. We finally established the distinction between the respective sources, samples of protein sources, maize and soybean, and that of animal sources right here, just pig fur and duck feather were analyzed. Yeah, so it says it right here. Boom, you think I'm cat, right? An elemental analyzer, which was connected to an isotope ratio mass spectrometer, operated in the continuous flow mode, was utilized. The raw materials were obtained from China. I literally just said this, right? Respectively detected in pig fur and duck feather samples. The study provides a reliable approach in verifying the authenticity of not only leucine products, but also other branched chain amino acid supplements, and thereby would help in fraud detection of any economically motivated adulteration and mislabeling of these products. Okay. Now, right, carrying on, the meat. Like, you got to think about it. Like, why is the system trying to push us towards this carnivore meat consumption bullshit? Why are they trying to push us towards that? Because they know what this shit does to us. Okay. You just got to not be an idiot. You just got to know how to not be an idiot and learn that we need to completely be like, these are the feds. And I don't care if like they out of nowhere was like, fuck it, we about to give you reparations and all of that shit. And like, I'm about to kiss your motherfucking toes. If they literally said that today, we want to kiss all y'all toes. We sorry, yada, yada, yada. Nigga, I'm going to punch you before you even try to touch my toes. That's how I feel about this system. Okay. So when they tell you go right, nigga, I'm going left. I'm going left. I'm going left. Okay. And I'm going to trust my intuition and I'm going to trust my higher self to guide me. Okay. Because I'm always guided and protected. I'm always guided and protected. And that's how I think a lot of us should be. Okay. So, right, this right here says the meat sweet diet and standard American diet, it causes an impairment of kidney blood flow, inflammation, and subsequent leakage of protein in the urine, and a rapid decrease in kidney function. Table sugar and high fructose corn syrup are associated with increased blood pressure. Okay. And uric acid. I'll tell you guys this as well. Like for the people out there that may have high blood pressure, you really just need to get off the processed foods and the meats. That's really, and also, that's really, really it. You need to get on none but straight juices. You feel me? Get off the meats, get off the processed foods. You feel me? No sodas. You feel me? No sugar, no white sugar. You feel me? Whole foods. You feel me? Vegan, whole foods. No tofu, no tempeh. Just simply natural plants and vegetation, you feel me? Fruits from Mother Nature. Okay, nothing processed. As well as, dive deep with your lifestyle, right? But this right here is telling you that it's fucking with your kidneys, right? Table sugar, high fructose are associated with increased blood pressure and uric acid levels. Also, meat contains uric acid, which contributes to gout, both of which can damage the kidney. The saturated fat, trans fat, and cholesterol found in animal fat and junk food negatively impact kidney function as well. It causes chronic kidney disease, okay? And this is literally telling you the consumption of animal fat can actually alter the structure of the kidney, and animal protein can deliver an acid load to the kidneys, increase ammonia production, and damage the sensitive kidney cells. This is why restricting protein intake is recommended by preventing kidney function decline. Though it may be animal protein in particular that may need restricting, though it may be animal protein in particular that may need restricting, not just protein in general, says it right there. So the source of protein, plant versus animal, may be more important than the amount regarding adverse health consequences. That literally says it right there. Conversely, intake of an equal quantity of protein from plants does not appear to have the same effects. Boom, right there, right in your face. If you eat a meal of tuna fish, pressure on the kidneys goes up within just hours of consumption. Then the researchers switched it up and found that if instead of having tuna sandwich, you have a tofu salad sandwich with the same amount of protein. So this right here is they telling you, okay, I don't want y'all to get the wrong impression, okay? Tofu is not a food, okay? It is a mineral inhibitor. It robs you of your minerals, of the nutrition that you are getting from the food. Do not consume tofu. I'm telling you right now, okay? I mean, it's a transitional food. Don't get me wrong. It's a transitional food, right? If you're really, really struggling and it's your first time transitioning to like a plant-based diet, it's a transitional food, right? But it's not supposed to be long-term, okay? The same thing happens with eggs and dairy protein. Eggs and dairy protein, both in people with normal kidneys and people with diseased kidneys, okay? So this right here is a case study, and they were breaking down, you feel me, like the protein amino acid restriction. When you restrict the protein, right, and your amino acid, the BCAs, right? So this right here, isoleucine, valine, and leucine, okay? So these three right here are really, really the main ones when it comes to, building muscle, you feel me, maintaining muscle mass, et cetera, et cetera. You want to make sure you get these. And the way that you get these is by eating. Dr. Sebi he laid the fucking blueprint, yo. He laid the fucking blueprint. Black wild rice, chickpeas, okay? Not only that, quinoa all has the BCAs, okay? Not only that, hemp seeds, okay? These are 4 foods. If you want to get that so-called protein, the BCAs, eat these 4 foods, and they're alkaline, okay? But you definitely want to soak your nuts though, and you want to soak the grain, because you want to be able to reduce the phytic acid that's within that as well, because that's also going to rob you of your minerals as well. All right, specifically your zinc, iron, and calcium, I believe. But this right here straight up shows you protein and fat from animal sources, right? Increased longevity, reduced risk of CVD, chronic vascular, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer, okay, as well as chronic kidney disease as well. Now, when you have the protein and the fats, right, the animal protein, right, and the more protein that you have, you reduce your longevity and you increase risk of CVD, diabetes, and cancer, and also chronic kidney disease. Now, this right here says, this is a case study, right, from the NIH, the government, these day people that they be funded, all right? This is how you know, like, we really in an age of Aquarius. When the population was divided into 50 to 65 and 65 and older, the 65 and younger group reporting consumption of over 20% of calories from proteins had a 4-fold increased risk for cancer mortality and a 75% increase in overall mortality compared to subjects reporting consumption consuming less than 10% of calories from proteins. Proof is here, y'all. Individuals younger than 65 may benefit from reduced protein intake. Okay. Oh, and then this is another thing too. I want to say the older that you get, the hydrochloric acid up in your stomach, that gut secretion actually is not as strong. So for later on in life, when you're like 65 or whatever, it's important to get, protein becomes more important, but it doesn't mean that you need the animal protein. Okay. Just so y'all know. Individuals younger than 65 may benefit from reduced protein intake and the reduced levels of growth factors, right? So this right here is Stanford. Stanford literally just said, we've known for a long time that measuring certain proteins in the blood can give you information about a person's health status, lipoproteins for cardiovascular health, et cetera, et cetera. They know this. They know this. They've been knowing this. So how and why is it that all of a sudden today they want to say, okay, bet, well, look, you need to go to the meat because the meat got this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. We're actually carnivores and yada, yada, yada. If you are a tropical person, if you are, and this ain't no disrespect to anybody out there that may be white, you feel me, or of any other ethnic background, right? If you are Taino, if you are Latino, okay, if you're a Mexican, Honduran, you feel me, Salvadorian, whatever, right? If you are Black, Ghanaian, you feel me, fucking anything, bro. If you have that neuromelanin, okay, right? Blacks and Latinos have that neuromelanin. There's only a very small amount of Caucasians and Asians. Well, there's a higher percent of Caucasians that have the neuromelanin, but white people is very close to none. I think it's about like maybe 15% or 20% of Caucasians actually contain neuromelanin, right? Which is going to also, be the reason why you can even ascend to certain heights in spirit, spiritually. Okay. But again, this is not racism. Okay. This is not racism at all. All right. I'm just giving it to you straight. This is just facts. Okay. But yeah, with you being a tropical person, you feel me? With your gene, when you look at your genetics, right? You are a tropical person. You are not meant to be consuming these meats, you're not meant to be consuming none of that shit. Okay. And again, this is not racism. This is none of that. You feel me? I love all people. You feel me? And yeah, that's that, but the truth is what the truth is. Okay. So coming back, right? Animal protein and cell maintenance. Okay. So this is what happens when you feel me, like when you consume the animal proteins in high amounts, that, the destructive, complex, coagulated protein. Okay. So animal protein and cell maintenance, the cell interpret an overabundance of amino acids and sugars, as there are enough building blocks and energy to build new cell parts, so they maintain the existing parts less. So when you bring in that extra protein, you be like, okay, cool, I got my protein, I'm good. Like you eating all this coagulated meat protein plus the protein powders, you're actually, your cells are not able to do, to maintain existing parts. You feel me? They're not able to upkeep everything within you as efficiently as possible because you're bringing in all this complex amino acid structures, all this complex protein. Okay. That's very detrimental to the human body. So boom, animal protein and cell maintenance, right? The cells interpret an overabundance of amino acids and sugars, as there are enough. Oh, I just literally read that. I think I just the result is, did I just read this? Try to maintain existing parts less. Yeah, the result is autophagy and other maintenance patterns for the job. Okay, yeah, I did just read this. Okay, now for my people out there that just believe like, all right, fuck it, well, the grass fed is yada, 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 and I need my grass fed, right? Why grass-fed meat still accelerates aging? Often meat proponents will claim that the studies showing detrimental effects of high meat consumption are biased are biased because the meat is grain-fed or contains too much antibiotics, growth hormone, etc. However, given that it's true that grass-fed antibiotics-free meat is somewhat healthier than industry-made meat, the main problem is still that meat contains lots of amino acids that overstimulate aging / nutrient sensing and growth pathways, and thus accelerates aging in the long term. You do not need a lot of protein, especially coming from meat, okay? Which is complex, coagulated, okay? So many other negative effects, okay? We ain't even talking about gout, you feel me? Like with the heme iron, there's so many negatives. There's so many negatives, okay? Boom, NIH, right? Hold on, let me just check something real quick, y'all. Just got a text from a client. Allow me to reconnect. My time management is better. Okay, cool. Among those aged 50, 60 years old, higher protein levels were linked to significant increased risk of all of all cause and cancer-related mortality. Okay. Higher protein levels were linked to significant increased risks of all cause and cancer-related mortality. Okay. Animal protein intake was related to higher risk of mortality. Okay. Particularly CVD mortality. In contrast, higher plant protein intake was associated with lower all-cause mortality. Bro, the proof is literally right here, bro. And that's really it, man. That right there is my spiel on, protein. You just saw all the information that you needed to never eat the goddamn meat ever again, okay? And on top of that, you do not like that meat because of how it tastes. You put herbs on that meat and make that meat taste good, as well as you can't go kill a buffalo, go kill, you feel me, that cow, go kill that deer yourself with your bare hands, no weapons. You ain't gonna do it because you are not a carnivore. I'm sorry to tell you, but you are not a carnivore, okay? It is what it is, okay? In addition to that, like I said, it contains heme iron, which is a carcinogen, okay? In addition to that, it contains uric acid. We do not possess the digestive enzymes necessary to even break down uric acid. We possess the digestive enzyme called amylase or amylose, right? And that right there breaks down carbohydrates, okay? In addition to that, you think you need meat to feel full. I'm telling you right now, you aren't getting full. You're just adding waste matter and calcification, inflammation, and clogging up your arteries even more. And that's what's making you feel, I guess, full, but it's not really you feeling full, okay? In order for you to feel full, you need fiber. Meat has no fiber. I'm sorry to tell you, no meat on the planet has fiber. So how are you getting full? You are not getting full. You're just adding more destruction into your body, fucking up your kidneys. You feel me? Add more inflammation, excess mucus, right? The heme iron increases your chance of getting cancer, diabetes, erectile dysfunction, okay? And so many other things. You've seen it here, as well as it causes you to age faster. If you want to hold on to the meat and accept all of these things, be my guest. Be my guest. But you do not need the protein. You don't. You don't. You need plant sources, okay? Those plant source amino acids. And actually, the less that you get, the better, okay? And because it's not containing all of the BS, you feel me? So this right here was my spiel on, protein. I hope this was helpful. And I hope that you're convinced that you don't need the protein. In addition to that, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And yeah, just cruise around and find other content to watch. Okay, welcome to BTCOW. Peace.